Okay, so hi again students. So today we are going to study a new chapter for chemistry form 5, chapter 2, carbon compound. So today we are going to learn the first subtopic 2.1, types of carbon compounds. So in Psalm 119 verse 105, your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. So in 2.1 types of carbon compounds, your learning standards are you are able to understand carbon compounds and also explain the sources of hydrocarbon. Okay, so here you have learned in form 2 science about the carbon cycle. Okay, carbon cycle. So this is a carbon cycle. Okay, so carbon dioxide from the surrounding absorbed by the plant during photosynthesis, and then they will move to decaying of the organism, that organism and waste product. Okay, animal respiration involve including human respiration, release again the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, and also the smoke from the factories and vehicles also produce CO2 again to the atmosphere. Okay, so what are carbon compounds? Carbon compounds are compounds that contain carbon as their constituent element. Okay, so we have two types of carbon compounds. The first one is organic compound and the second one is inorganic compound. Okay, organic compound is a carbon compounds that originate from living things. Okay, they contain carbon element, okay, bonded covalently with other elements such as hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus. Okay, so organic compound ini adalah carbon compound but originate from living things. So here, this is carbon atom, they are bonded by covalent bond to other element such as H, N, S, and P here. Okay, inorganic compound are compounds that originate from a non-living materials. Okay, non-living materials such as oxide, carbon, oxide of carbon, carbonate compounds, and cyanide compounds. Okay, so hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon. So organic compound, we focus on organic compound. Organic compound divided again into hydrocarbons and non-hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons itu ialah organic compound that contain only hydrogen and carbon element, only contain C and H. While non-hydrocarbon ini adalah organic compound juga but contain another element other than C and H. Okay, dia contain carbon, hydrogen, and also other element lah, such as oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus ataupun halogens. Okay, so this is the examples of hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon. For example, organic compound protein, composition dia carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. So this is a non-hydrocarbon. Okay, sebab dia mengandungi elemen lain selain CH. Petrol, dia contain only C, carbon, and hydrogen. So this is hydrocarbon. Starch, starch ini dia ada carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So dia ada oxygen. So ni adalah non-hydrocarbon. Fat, composition dia carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So ada oxygen. So non-hydrocarbon. Natural gas contain C and H only. So this is hydrocarbon. Alcohol contains C, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So this is non-hydrocarbon. Okay? So hydrocarbon, we focus on hydrocarbon yang mengandungi C dan H sahaja. Okay? Are classified again into saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. Okay, based on the types of their covalent bond. So saturated hydrocarbons, they contain only single bonds between the carbon atom. Like that, single bond only. But unsaturated hydrocarbon, they contain at least one double bond or triple bond. Sekurang-kurangnya ada satu double bond atau triple bond di antara carbon atom dia. Okay, so here is the example of saturated hydrocarbon. So between the carbon and carbon, only a single bonds. Okay, while this one is unsaturated hydrocarbon, so we have a double bond here or triple bond here between the carbon atom. So this is unsaturated. So bagaimana cara untuk kamu ingat ini? Bagaimana cara untuk ingat? Saturated, satu single bond. Unsaturated, satu, maksudnya dia bukan single bond, tetapi at least ada satu double bond atau triple bond. Okay, hope this will help you to remember. Sources of hydrocarbon. Okay, dari mana kita dapat hydrocarbon? So the main sources of hydrocarbons are petroleum or crude oil. Petroleum is formed from the remains of plants and animals that perished at the bottom of ocean millions of years ago. Okay, petroleum is a mixture of simple or long chain hydrocarbons, and petroleum cannot be used before processing. It needs to be refined into its constituents through a distillation process. So we have two stages of oil refining. Okay, yaitu fractional distillation and also cracking. Okay, two stage of oil refining. Fractional distillation ini adalah the fractions of hydrocarbon in petroleum are separated at different temperature according to the size of the hydrocarbons. While cracking, the long chain hydrocarbons are cracked into smaller molecules at a high temperature using a catalyst. Okay, fractional distillation. During the fractional distillation process, petroleum is heated and streamed into a distillation tower here. Okay, this is the process of fractional distillations of petroleum. Okay, so the fractions in petroleum can be separated because each fractions of the hydrocarbon has its own boiling point. So dia mempunyai boiling point dia sendiri. Sebab itu kita boleh pisahkan dia punya fraction dalam petroleum. Hydrocarbons with a lower boiling point will vaporize first, and dia akan rise to the top of the tower before condensing and separating. So here, siapa yang ada low boiling point, dia yang duluan vaporize. Selepas itu, dia akan naik ke atas tower itu sebelum dia separate lah into dia punya fraction. Hydrocarbons with the higher boiling points are collected at the bottom of the tower and condensed into liquid. Okay, semakin ke bawah, okay, dia punya boiling point, dia punya boiling point itu adalah tinggi. So bila dia tinggi, so dia akan condense into liquid. Okay, contohnya di sini, ini fuel oil, dia punya boiling point ini 350 to 500. So sangat tinggi. So dia akan condense into liquid. Okay, like that. So this one petrol also. This one petroleum gas. So dia punya boiling point ini rendah sahaja. So that's why dia akan vaporize first lah. Okay, so there are two main uses of hydrocarbon compounds derived from fractional distillation here. So satu, dia digunakan sebagai fuel, satu lagi sebagai raw material for the petrochemical industry. Okay, so untuk small molecule, dia punya boiling point low boiling points, and then dia punya color adalah bright color, highly combustible, okay, and less viscous, kurang likat. Okay, manakala big molecule ini dia punya boiling point is very high and the color is dark and low combustibility and more likat, more viscous. Okay, so contohnya di sini petroleum gas, cooking gas lah kan. So dia punya carbon number is around 1 to 4. Okay, dia punya boiling point is less than 40 degrees Celsius. Petrol 40 degree is 40 to 75. This one is fuel for motor vehicles. Naphtha, this is raw material for petrochemical industry. So we have kerosene, this is for aircraft fuel. Diesel is for heavy vehicles, okay, seperti bus and lorries. And lubricating oil ni, lubricating oils and candles di sini. Okay, so dia punya suhu, dia punya boiling point sudah tinggi. Okay, and then you have fuel oil tadi for ships and also power station. Bitumen ini ada sangat tinggi, lebih daripada 500 darjah Celsius. Okay, dan sangat besar, big molecules. And this is for road pavements, okay, untuk buat jalan tu lah. Okay, so the second stage is cracking lah. Cracking is the process of breaking a long chain hydrocarbons into smaller hydrocarbons. In the cracking process, compounds of large hydrocarbon molecules, they are heated at a high temperature and pressure. So here, a catalyst such as a mixture of aluminum oxide and silicon oxide are usually used, okay, to increase the rate of reaction. Cracking process, they produce smaller hydrocarbons such as petrol that is used as a fuel, alkane and alkene hydrocarbons with a shorter chains to be used as a raw materials in the manufacturing of polymer, medicine, detergent, solvent, fertilizer, and many more others useful products. Okay, so the separations of petroleum compound through fractional distillation cannot meet the high demands of smaller size hydrocarbon. Okay, because the demand for smaller size hydrocarbon is higher because it combusts easily and used as a fuel. So example number 1 here, long chain hydrocarbon molecule, dia heat cracking with a catalyst, so they become short hydrocarbon molecules. Okay, for example here, this is a long chain hydrocarbon molecules, dia crack into ethene and pentene, yang short one lah. Okay, so like this one also, decane C10H22, C10, so panjang lah C10, so dia break into pentene and hydrogen, shorter chain sudah. So what are the alternative source of hydrocarbon? So alternatives to hydrocarbon refer to alternative energy sources other than non-renewable fossil fuel. Okay, so maksudnya yang selain daripada bahan fosil yang tidak dapat diperbaharui. So itu adalah alternative source of hydrocarbon lah. So kita ada biomass di sini. Biomass is organic matter of plant and animals. So they contain latent energy derived from the sun. So these alternative resources are renewable, and alternative energy source can be derived for many chemical processes from the biomass. Okay, for example here, biodiesel, biogas, and also bioethanol. Okay, that's all for today. In Psalm 119 verse 105, your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Thank you.